Hey y'all, what's up? I'm back. Did you miss me? I know I've been gone for a little minute now, but fret no longer, I'm here. And today, we about to talk about this Married at First Sight. Now look, I've been watching Married at First Sight for years now. They on the, 13th, 12th season? So I've been watching every season and I love the show. So I always wanted to review it. So I said, well, why not now? Why they got the fuck shit going on? Because if you watching it, you know it's already some fuck shit. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so boom. Whenever I start watching Married at First Sight, I don't ever start at the first episode rather. Because it's usually just them talking about the people individually, which is very important. Yeah. But I don't like it because I feel like it's boring. So I didn't watch episode 1. I came in on episode 2 when the weddings actually started. That's where I like to come in with the action. So that's why I came in, episode 2. So on episode 2, we meet the couples and they meet each other. The first couple was, I'm looking at my notes, y'all, because I'm a real YouTuber. And I take notes. The first couple was the really bubbly, blonde, white girl and the mixed guy. Yeah, he was mixed because I think his mom was black and his dad might have been a different race. But that was our first couple. What was their names? So that's Ryan and Clara. Now, I remember Clara said, because I kind of watched a little bit of the first episode just to get a little idea of who these people were. But Clara, she was the one who was saying that she likes to date black guys or whatever. Like, that's her thing or whatever. She's attracted to black guys. So they come down the aisle and they meet each other a little differently than a lot of the other couples usually do. Usually you see the person for the first time coming down the aisle. Well, they came down blindfolded. So they had their, the maid of honor and his groomsman, one of them, take the blindfold off. And that's when they met each other. Which I don't think that was a really good idea. Because the first time I'm going to see you, we're going to be right here with it. We're going to be right here with it. That ain't never how I want to meet anybody. Okay? I don't ever want to meet somebody right here first. Hey. That's awkward, but they did it, and it was fine because Clara has that personality, and he seems to have that personality too, where they're kind of just comfortable in, how they are, and they're outgoing. So they both kind of were just, oh, hey, so they met each other. It seemed like they were happy enough with the pairing. She definitely seemed attracted. He did too. So that went well. They did their own vows. All that part is very boring to me, so you won't be getting those details. Not today. But they go ahead and they have the first conversation by themselves after they get married. Everything's going great. They're talking and they're kind of just getting to know each other. And one thing that Ryan does say, because she was talking about how she doesn't want someone with a lot of insecurities and all that. They need to be confident. And he said that's not a problem. Like, I don't see that being a problem for either one of them. They seem to both be pretty confident. But he did say he can be sensitive at times, which can be a good or bad thing. So we're going to find out if it's good or bad soon enough. But Clara, she said, he asked her what was her main fear going into this. And she said that she was scared that she would fall in love with him and he wouldn't love her back, which I think is a very common fear when getting into any relationship, let alone marrying somebody at first sight. He kind of looked a little taken back by that, but that could have been editing. Who knows? Because I'm sure he felt some of that same, fear. But that was their first meeting. Let's move on. Okay, so next we have Virginia and Eric. That's our next couple. So Virginia is having the time of her life. From the moment she woke up that morning on her wedding day, baby girl walked in the door, said, I need a shot. Okay, well, hey, whatever. I plan to have some shots before my wedding too, so there's no never mind. So she's getting ready with her bridesmaids and they're talking, before the wedding. And she's like really nervous. She's like, I can't stop shaking. So she's steadily taking shots and she's getting ready. That's all I remember from her says is that she was getting toasty before that wedding. Now, we slide over to Eric. And he's there with his groomsmen. They're talking to him and they're just like, you ready to do this? Because he's doing it for what he says the second time. And you'll see why I'm saying the second time. But he's being married for the second time and he wants it to really work. He wants this to be the last go round. He does not want to keep doing this. So he's ready. He's all in and he's ready to go. So they get to the wedding and he's waiting for her to come. Then, there's the nervous tension in the air. He seems kind of quirky and a little awkward, but you're marrying a stranger. But he is kind of quirky. So she comes down the aisle. He loves her, what he sees. She's beautiful, and she's just as giggly through the whole wedding. Just everything they said was, baby girl was feeling good, okay? She was feeling good. So the wedding goes great. At the end, when they get ready to kiss, they both go in for the kiss, but she grabs him by the head. And she said that before the wedding to her bridesmaids that if anybody was going to go in for it, she was going to be the one. So she did. So they get married without a hitch. Everything goes great. And now they're going to talk to each other, get to know each other a little bit. Okay, so now they're at the table talking after the wedding is over. Well, after the nuptials, before the reception. So they're talking, getting to know each other. We do find out that Virginia is 26 and Eric is 34. I'm looking at my notes because I can't remember nothing. But that's a pretty big age gap. And not necessarily just the age gap, just knowing the mindset of a 26-year-old versus a 34-year-old. So I don't know, right there, that was a little bit of a red flag to me, but let's see. So they keep on talking and we find out that Eric is a pilot and he's also in the Air Force. So that tells us a little bit more about him. Anybody who knows anyone who's in the military, it's pretty orderly. So you can kind of look at him and see that he might be the kind that needs order and, all that in his life. Virginia, she not about that order life. She's about ordering another drink. That's what Virginia, the order she talking about. She trying to order her another shot, okay? Okay? So they're talking. She's just giggling and laughing and drinking the whole time. So we really don't find out much about her other than she likes to travel and she likes to party. That's what we know about Virginia from that conversation. But it's good enough. They get ready to go and take their pictures and head back into the wedding for the reception. So one thing I wanted to note that when they did go back into the reception, Virginia never talked to his parents. She went straight to the bar. Baby girl went straight to the bar. And I don't know if it was editing, but throughout the evening, they never showed her talking to his parents. They were just kind of standing around looking like, is she going to come meet us? So that's a red flag. And you could see it in Eric's face too, that he was concerned about that, because one thing about Eric that I forgot to mention is that his family seems to be very conservative. His dad's a pilot, so they didn't mention, I don't think they mentioned religion, but they seemed very conservative. So that's a red flag that she did not acknowledge his parents, and she was just drinking the whole night. They were looking at her crazy, like, girl, you gonna fall out soon. So now we have Brianna and Vincent. So Brianna, she's this beautiful chocolate girl. Now, she was getting ready. I had got a little worried because they was putting in her tracks. And they was looking like they was about to be bomb. Like a nice wet curl. And then I saw them spritzing it down and spritzing her leave out. And once they spritzed that leave out, I knew that was a different plan. But then I told myself, I said, Alicia, you not a beautician. You don't know. Let that lady work. So I waited. And baby, when I tell you they didn't flip the script on me. I had no idea they was going in that direction with that hairstyle. Now, it wasn't bad, but I didn't expect it. It was one of those, it was a real classic look. It was really nice for a wedding day where they put all the nice curly hair and then they spritz it down to like Jerry curl status. So now it wasn't loose waves. It was really curly. And they did a little swoop. Swooped all of it this way. Put it in like a little bun, like a little roll in the bag. So it was nice for her wedding day. Had a little brooch or whatever you call it over here. It was cute enough, but I was worried. So she's marrying Vincent. He just seems like a genuinely good guy. Just when he talks, you can kind of see that he's genuine and that he's really here for the right reasons. So he's nice and handsome. He's a little light bright with thick, luscious, manly beard and a nice bald head. Really handsome. And you could tell that when she came down the aisle that she was attracted and he was attracted. And, you know, every exchange between them so far has seemed pretty genuine. And I think they gonna make it, y'all. Now, I don't know how that daddy was feeling, because he didn't smile not at one time. Not at one time. That could have been because we see him later and them teeth was not all that. That dental plan wasn't always occur. But he was not trying to smile. So I don't know if that's just a force of habit. Like maybe he just don't smile a lot. Because he does seem like he's okay with everything. But I wasn't sure. He didn't look too happy. But everything goes off without a hitch. They go and talk after the wedding. And we find out that Vincent is a broker, a car broker. So he says, like, you know, he basically goes and finds the car for people who are looking to buy. He goes and does all the middleman work of talking to the dealership and all that. So, you know, Brianna was kind of impressed, like, oh, that's what you do. You know, I like that because she didn't try to diminish it because she's an engineer. And she could have very well been like, you a what? But, you know, that's a good job. I'm sure they make pretty decent money, you know. And so, which is really good that she reacted that way, because one of the things that he said was that he wants someone who will believe in him and support his dreams. Like, you know, really believe that he can do what he is trying to do. Because he's like, with the dreams that he has, he needs someone that believes that he can do it. So they're a great match so far. We gonna see how it goes. Okay, so the show wraps up. We still have 2 more couples that are gonna be getting married, but the show wraps up here with those 3 getting married, and we see the beginning of Chris and Paige's wedding. We see the beginning of them about to meet each other, but they kind of leave us hanging. So I'm gonna leave y'all hanging too, and we're gonna talk about it on the next episode that I'm about to record right now. So come right back for episode 3.